Hi, my name is Noor Abdel Fattah, and I am the voice slash individual behind the character Glip Glop that I have been recording and putting up online for the last couple of months, actually. So it's currently December 16th as I am recording this. It's one of several takes, but hopefully this one will actually provide you with some behind the scenes knowledge as to what's been going on with Glip Glop. So, the entire premise of Glip Glop is taking an alien from a different culture from Earth and plopping them down in the middle of central Jersey on Rutgers campus and seeing, hey, how would they adapt? How would people react? Granted, this isn't the most original thing since, as I did receive some criticism from some folks, like, oh, this is something that's actually very common. Like, you see a lot of weird people on Rutgers. This is the East Coast. It's not all that uncommon, but it was still a very fun thing to do. And, the thing about Glip Glop is I had to do a lot of improv with him where I would just get into a random social situation. Like, I remember I was talking to one guy that was trying to get me to vote. I would remember talking to my physics professor. I talked to a bunch of pharmacy students. And in each of those situations, I would have to come up with the randomest, weirdest things to try and contradict human culture. Granted, I think I could have probably done a bit of planning ahead of time, but I'd say I did pretty good. Like, for example, uh, I had this one greeting that I made up on the spot, which is, oh yeah, Glip Glop or Glip Glorpians say hello by putting their pinky into their ear, and that was pretty interesting. A lot of the people that I kept doing that whenever I talked to new people. I, in addition to doing a lot of the footage on the spot, you know, I tried to not make it seem too scripted. Like, I did have a few situations where I was like talking to people and it would be like, oh yeah, they would think like, oh yeah, this is too awkward, can we redo it? And most of the time I'd be like, no, it's fine, you did okay. But like, sometimes I would have to re-record it because you don't really have every day someone coming up to you and saying, hey, can we record a video where I'm an alien and you're a normal human? Some of the footage that I did was not exactly recorded, I want to say consensually. Like, I would just, actually, no, scratch that. I did record pretty much everything consensually. The worst thing I did was just, like, point at a random person riding a scooter and call the technology primitive. Um, but yeah, you don't really see their face in the footage. Actually, not even sure if I got that on footage. I think I got it on footage. We'll see. I still need to record and put together most of the video. But in essence, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to create a vlog that's going to tie together some of the highlights of, my time on Earth as Glip Glop. I am going to, I still do need to go ahead and make the scripts and whatnot. Or, this was weird in that it wasn't really that scripted at all. Other than me, again, coming up with stuff on the spot. This was a very improv-based social experiment. I am really lucky to just have had the opportunity to do it in general. I'm really lucky that a lot of the people that I talked to were really casual. This one guy that I talked to in the pharmacy school who was like the one giving out the COVID shots, I came up to him because no one else was there. And, I was wearing the alien costume, like, hey, could I do a video with you where I'm an alien and you're just a normal human? He's like looking at me, he's like, yeah, I'm not into that stuff. I'm like, okay, that was probably the most embarrassing thing that happened while I was Glip Glop. Although I did have a handful of people that managed to recognize me. So I did wear Glip Glop to my organic chemistry lecture at one point. And, I actually didn't have as many people recognize me as I thought that there would be, but And I actually didn't do any recording that day. It was just more to test the waters before I actually started my filming. But, as soon as I left, though, I just got a bunch of texts that are like, hey, is that you in the alien costume? Hey, is that you in the frog costume? Yeah, I had one of my friends keep saying, like, oh, no, that's a frog costume. I'm like, no, it's an alien costume. You're offending Glip Glop. And, it was all around just a really fun experience. I know that in class we did talk about a number of films that have essentially the same premise. I did take a little bit of a inspiration from the Christmas movie Elf, at least for that one scene where I was like hopping across the crosswalk. And funny story, when I was doing that, I had someone call to me saying, "What are you doing?" And I just I turned around and I didn't know how else to explain myself. I'm like, film project off in the distance. And I had no idea who that was. And I didn't see them. And I mean, obviously they saw me, but I don't know who it was. Oh yeah, and then this other time I was in the elevator and I was pretending that Glip Glop had gotten trapped in this steel box and was trying to get out. And when the elevator went down, I did not expect for there to be other people on the other side. So I'm just banging on the wall, and then it opens, and I see like two men just standing there looking at me, absolutely bewildered. And I'm like, oh, hi, this is also for a film project. I feel like you could just do a lot of awkward, weird stuff in public and just blame it on film projects, and people won't question it. Regardless, overall, very fun experience. It was a lot more time consuming than I originally thought or intended, but I think that it did pay off. I'm happy more or less with how the final product is coming along, and I know I didn't get a chance to share it in class, but I'm excited to see your reaction to it. Um, I do have a few more ideas. I might keep doing this as a hobby on the side, perhaps. Um, you know, I'm not sure if I'm going to get an opportunity to do too many more science fiction, creative writing stuff in the future, anyways, because I do go into pharmacy school in about one semester after finals. And I'm really looking forward to that, but I do want to try and keep my creative side alive. And whether that's through social commentary, science fiction, writing, however it might be, it's something that I do need to keep alive. And I know that I'm a very creative person, and this is something, again, that I thoroughly enjoy. That being said, I do thank you, Professor Warren, for a wonderful semester. I do apologize if this wasn't as grandiose as I was initially intending, and I do apologize for this being like 2 days late. Hopefully you can get this done before grades are due. But thank you so much, and I hope you have a lovely winter break. Farewell, or as Glip Glop would say, adios. Does he speak Spanish?